Welcome back. My name is Ashley, and this is the Black Sheep Christian Podcast. I'm just going to let y'all know I'm really excited today. I have Dr. Tamara Nall with me. She has reached out. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Ashley. I'm really excited about our powerful, impactful discussion we'll have.
Oh, man. So let me read your intro, and
Okay.
I'm going to let people know why I'm excited, okay? So I'm going to read your profile intro. So, visionary, founder of Junia Naming Tradition, best-selling author, and legacy architect. I was like, cool. Wow, she's all over the place. I wish my ducks were in a row, but this is what got me in the second paragraph. For centuries, sons named after their fathers have been honored with the title junior. But what about daughter? I created Juna, the world's first formal naming tradition for daughters who carry their mother's full name. So when I read that, I was just like, this is what I was going through with my daughter.
Oh,
If
wow.
we 18 years ago,
Hmm.
if you captured me more than 18 years
We
ago,
have another Ashley.
oh, but in my situation, it was different. So,
Mhm.
um, so pregnant out of wedlock, and so there's like it's a girl, and it's interesting because I'm the oldest too, but for a girl, it's interesting because it was kind of like for her to be a junior, but it was for him. So
Mm.
his name, he passed away, but his name is Jason. And I was like, what can we do with his name
Mhm.
for a female?
Mm.
Now, in society, I didn't think about Googling it at the time because my mind was like in cultural norms, like
Mhm.
these
Mhm.
norms, this is what we're in. And so, for her, it ended up being Jay Lynn. And so, with his passing, various children that were born after my daughter kind of did something similar as
Mm.
far as the J name,
Mhm.
to kind of honor him in some way.
Mhm.
But when I saw this, and then another thing too is I'm talking too much and I apologize. But
No,
another
please.
thing too is name is identity in many ways. And
Mhm.
so I know when my daughter became a teenager, she was like, "Can I take your last name?" Instead of like she was going through an identity
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
awakening, I guess you could
Mhm.
call it. So when you reached out and I read that second paragraph alone, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is what we went through."
Mhm.
And before she was born, after she was born. And so this is amazing movement.
Oh, thank you. Yes, no, thank you. And I love that. So I get the J. Now, where did the Lynn come from?
So the Lynn is from grandma.
Okay, got
Yep,
it.
yep, yep. The Lynn is from grandma. Yep.
My middle name is Lynn, Lynn. So
Oh,
yeah, so I'm like, oh, Jalen, that's precious. That's precious. But yeah, just to give a little bit about my history and my background. So I was always focused on my professional career, then my entrepreneurial career, then my investor career, and it never we never we just don't talk about the fact that there is a ticking clock, if you will, for women and the healthiness of our eggs. No one talked about that. I was just like, okay, when we're ready to have a family, we'll have a family. And my husband had been very patient throughout the years of, I'm not ready. I want to get to this level and that level and the next level, etc. And then it's like, oh, now I'm starting my company. So that was all. So when we were ready, when I finally was like, okay, let's start. We went through so many rounds, so much money of IVF, and the embryos would just never be viable. And there was even a chance. I remember we were in the IVF clinic, and you take the little ultrasound, and you can see all the little eggs, and you can see your reserve through, and it was like it looks like caviar, if I'm honest. And I remember the nurses and everybody was like, "Oh, it's Easter, it's Easter, it's Easter." And so I was so excited. And then you have to wait a certain number of days. And I got the call that none of my eggs had matured enough to be inseminated. And I remember that weekend, my husband's like, "It's going to be okay. Don't worry." But I mean, he had no earthly idea emotionally what I was going through, particularly since people were jumping up and down in the clinic. And I told them, "Don't ever do that again." And I was in the room crying my eyes out for the entire weekend, Friday until I had to get up on Monday because I had people that depended on me to show up for them. And so we tried and tried and just could not get viable embryos. And so finally we got egg donors. So we do have 7 embryos now, four females and 3 males, and we're really happy. They're graded, they're healthy, and all of that. So we're ready for that next step. But when I think about me as being a Black woman, and I think about the fact that, my ancestors survived the transatlantic slave trade, and there were so many families that were totally eliminated. That means we come from a powerful people to be here. And now, if you look at my family tree in terms of DNA, it ends with me. And when you're thinking about, setting up wills and trust and what have you, and what are you going to do with your future? And I do encourage everyone to think through that, no matter how much you have or how little you have, try to set it up because we will all have our day, right? And you just want to make sure that things are prepared for those that you leave left behind, and all of what you own and all of that. It was sad. Like I would leave just crying because it ends with me in terms of DNA. And then I prayed about it. And God told me, "It's okay, Tamara. Your parents gave you more than your genetics, that they gave you like how to be a good citizen, a good Christian, a good person, a hard worker, like a happy person." I love to laugh and all of that. I just celebrated my 50th in March. So, yeah, so it's like water. I say water, Christ, prayer, and sleep, and a lot of laughter. And you got all that, but I still wasn't settled. I still was like, I want something. Like, I just wanted something. And I don't live with regret, except for that one thing. It was like, why didn't someone just tell me? If I would have had to eat ramen noodles for a year or 2 years to pay for it, to freeze my eggs earlier, then I would have done that. And then I was just walking one day, and I said, "Well, why don't I just name my daughter after me? Like that's what I can leave. That can be my genetics, my DNA." And talked to my husband. He said, "Oh, okay, well, that's a great concept." And then me being the type A person I am, I'm like, "Okay, well, how is that formalized?" And I did research, and there was no formal convention to have a suffix for when a mother names her daughter after her. And so I said, "Well, I'll just create one," you know? And so I did research, and I wanted something that wasn't so far removed from Junior so that it could be received and embraced. And that's where I came up with Junia. So now you can name your daughter after you, comma, Junia, or comma, JN. You can do that now on birth certificates. And in fact, there are over 30,000 daughters named after their mothers in the US now, but they don't have that suffix. And so I created Junia. And if you go to our website, junialegacy.com, there is a sample naming ceremony because it should be special. It's just to give you ideas, but you should totally change it however you want to. There's an official declaration of rights, there's an official certificate. And so we wanted to create things and infrastructure out there so that people can make this a special moment. And in fact, depending on when you have to use your name, if you can type it in, you can go ahead and use it.
Yeah.
But it's when you get to a point where there's like a drop down and it's not available. And that leads me to where we are now, which is going down this legislative path of getting approval. So getting co-sponsorship and getting legislation passed so that it can be approved and accepted and added for vital statistics and passport services and social security, and all those places where that would count. But it is, and I don't know why it hadn't been done before. And I've gotten so much support from it. And it's about legacy because there is a name. You have junior little boys all the time, grown men all the time, happy to be a junior. Now we're going to have little girls that are thrilled and happy to be juniors.
Yeah, thanks for correcting me. I apologize for saying it wrong. But yeah, this is the website for
Yes.
all who are
Mhm.
wondering what it looks like because, there's scams out there. But, you'd be like, am I at the right place? But yeah,
Right.
this is the website. And, it's interesting because with my experience, even though it's different,
Mhm.
it does create like this. It's kind of like, well, why not? like
Mhm.
like my daughter will be my only child. That's
Mhm.
just how it happened.
Mhm.
Did I want more? Yes, but
Mhm.
that's just not how it played out to be.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so for us to dismiss women to be able to pass down, as you say, not just DNA, but also knowledge, wisdom, and faith,
Mhm.
why can they not be that vessel? And a name is part of that vessel.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And I lost my mother 10 years ago, and so sometimes it feels like yesterday, sometimes it feels like 20 years.
Yeah.
And even in terms of knowing that I'm going to raise children without her there is just like mind-boggling. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. It'll all work out, but to me that was also encouragement too, to find something to kind of like continue legacy. So it's life experiences for
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. And you have me, well, I open up my Bible anyways, but when I was researching, um, it's funny when it comes to scripture because there are just, it's like there, and you'd be like, how did I miss that?
sure.
Um, because her
Meaning
name,
Junia the apostle in the Bible. Yes.
yes.
Mm-hmm,
Yes. So for those who like to know, it's in Romans 16:7. And
mm-hmm,
it's just a quick reference. She's
mm-hmm,
just there.
mm-hmm,
And it is a moment, for some context for others. It's a moment when Paul is just writing, hey coworkers, love ya, miss ya.
exactly. Never heard it like that. I love that. I'm gonna borrow that.
And with her, let me see here. I don't I I don't know. I know I'm going to be botching this first name because he's got this first name in there and
Hmm.
I have not gone to school yet. But he greets Ampliatus Amplitus.
Okay, good enough.
Okay, that's the best I could do. Um and then her, and but anyways, he goes, my fellow Jews who have been in prison with me, so she's with him, they
Hmm.
are outstanding among the apostles, and they were in Christ before I was. And that's the
Hmm.
NIV version. So he's like, these people are amazing.
Amazing. And she's only mentioned once in the Bible, but to
Yes,
know that she was the only female mention, that she
yes,
was outstanding. She was
yes,
only once, like, and that's how it is. And I think that now that I'm thinking about it, I never thought about it before, but as women, we are bold, we are
yes.
trailblazers, we're innovators, and we don't talk ourselves up all the time.
Right, right,
You know what I'm saying? But
right.
we can still have that power with just one mention of our name. And that's what I think
Yes,
about Junia. Like, wow, like how powerful was she? And she was only mentioned once.
yes.
No, no bragging, no anything, willing to be imprisoned for her beliefs.
Right.
That's legacy, that's strength, that's power. So yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? When I read that, the fact that she was in prison, I'm thinking, are you with other men? Are you like what is this environment? Are
Mhm.
you the only female in there? Like I had there was too many questions. Paul, come on now.
Right. Give us a little bit more, will you? I mean, we know she's outstanding, but yeah, so are many women. Give us a little bit more context.
Right. What does she do? I mean, is this, I mean, like, and I thought to myself, like, oh my gosh, what were prisons back then? Were they co-ed? Like, I'm always thinking men are in these prisons, like in the entire time the Bible is in there. I just never had these thoughts.
Yeah, and the way you read it up and the way one could imagine, it was like, okay, yeah, we're in here for our beliefs, and that's what we're gonna do. Maybe we playing Uno, like what? They're outstanding. We having a good time. And Junia, she's cool too.
Oh, exactly. Now,
Mhm.
with also doing research, unfortunately, it's kind of sad because, as incredible as she is, there are, what I've read is there are people who are
Yeah.
contradicting if she was who she was. She could have been an he, and that's that's what's just so sad about women just in general in the entire in the entire book. Like there's always doubt
Yeah. Yeah.
surrounding someone.
I mean, to me, there's enough out there to let me know she was a she.
Yeah, yeah,
That's number one. And then number two, I mean, I think everybody wants to be relevant at some point. So you're gonna have people that are gonna be ticking away at what's there. But he did say she, and I have to believe that. And none of us were there, right?
right,
So what we can speak to is what we know. That she
right,
was in prison, that she was an apostle, that
yeah,
she was outstanding according to Paul, and that she was tied to her beliefs and probably set an example for Paul
yes,
because she was there in her beliefs before Paul was. So
yes,
if we, even let other people have their thoughts and their perspectives, and we can just stick to the little facts that we know from that one verse.
right, right, right.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm really blessed for that. Thank you.
Hmm.
um Thank you for that. um when so I know you spoke about your next steps as far as making this national, making this to be able for people to do the social securities. Where are you in that path?
Yes, so we have made a lot of progress. We've been recognized in Times Square on the big screen.
Oh wow.
That was a couple of months ago. And if you go to our site soon, we don't have it up yet. We need to add that, but we do have it on our YouTube channel. So that's there. I believe it's on our YouTube channel. I'll have to look and see. So we're on all the social media platforms. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We have our website. We have that. We have a national petition through change.org. So if you look up Junia Legacy, it should be there. And we need the support. So when we go to legislatures, we need to show, hey, look, we have these thousands of people that support this and think that it's a great idea. We also have started a campaign, a financial campaign, because it is going to take money to like get the lobbyists, etc. Through that, and we have to do like there's a 2-year cycle. So our plan is to use the first 2-year cycle to really go to different Congress folks and senators, etc., to let them know about it. And if it passes the first 2 years, great. But what I have found and have been told that there have been some stuff that it takes more than one cycle. So we need to be ready for that and manage our expectations about that. March 1st is official National Junia Day. So it's going to be nationally celebrated as being the first formal naming convention for daughters named after their mothers. And that's going to be March 1st. And the first day to celebrate will be 2026. But we're going to have all these different activities and blasts and campaigns before then as well. We also had a video shoot and a photo shoot of our junior models. And it was a room of 9 little babies and toddlers with their mothers, and it was so diverse. I mean, it was just amazing. I was in tears. The mothers were in tears. For some of them, it was their first modeling gig, and they were all paid for it because I'm like, we want to make sure that we celebrate people and not just ask for stuff for free. So they definitely got that, and some of them, this was the launch of their modeling careers, both for the babies and the moms, and then that will be used in a lot of videos. So what if I could give ask two things, it would be, if you so would love to, we would love for people to go to junialegacy.com and donate. It is we have a partnership with a nonprofit called AOE, where 100% of those donations will go to move the movement forward, and you get a tax deduction. Can't beat that. And so we're excited about that. And then also just signing up to say, you know what, I know this congressperson in my state, whether it's a mayor, a city council, senator, whatever, whomever it is, please let us know, because we need to begin to have those conversations. And when we do walk the hill, we'll invite you to come forward, because they will only really meet with you if it's a constituent from their local community. And so since I'm here in Virginia, I would need to, we can go and partner together and then sign the petition so that we can show people that, hey, this is a movement and there are a lot of people that are backing it. So we have different ways that people can get involved, get engaged, share, like, comment on all of our social media.
Wow, thank you. Okay, I'm going to put that on my calendar, March
Yeah.
1st. I, it's just so interesting because it's like after all these years, it's it's like we waited too long for this, but it's better late than never.
Yeah. And you're not
Um,
the first. There was just someone whom I interviewed. I think her daughter's in her 20s, and she was like, well, maybe it's not too late. So, yeah. And, a lot of people say that, even if they already have a daughter, they're like, well, maybe my next one I would. I mean, why not?
why
We
not?
never ask questions when we name a son after the never. It's just like assume junior. And you know what? There will be Junia, and then there'll be the third and the fourth and the fifth. And many, in some cultures, they already do that. It's just we'll now have a formal suffix.
Yeah, yeah. And not only that, as I'm also thinking too as well, it is the suffix puts boys and girls on the same playing field.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because when we think about culture and then even scripture, some females, were able to get it. I'm thinking about, but they had help. I'm thinking about Ruth. Was it Ruth?
Mm-hmm. Ruth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Ruth? I'm thinking about. Is it Ruth?
Okay.
I'm thinking about.
Well, what's the context? I need to know the context.
Ah,
You were saying they
um,
had help.
it was um. I prayed. Um, Sons die. Mom's like, y'all, I'm done. Ladies, go back to your homes because husband died, sons died. And the one's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I'm
Oh,
with you,
I'm
mom
staying
and
with
mom.
you. Yep.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yep, yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep. And then they ended up to hold their own for a little bit, but she ended up getting remarried. But
Mm-hmm.
where was I going?
It was about now, boys and girls have their own standing,
Right.
and
Thank you,
mhm,
girl.
mhm.
I'm just
And
trying
there
to.
are many. And to your example, there are many examples of like daughters and mothers are tied. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? They're tied. It's like where you go,
yes,
I go.
yes.
You
Yes,
know.
most definitely. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I know with me and my mom and our
Mm-hmm.
relationship, I don't think I'll ever be far from her. I can't
Mm-hmm.
imagine myself being far from her.
Such a blessing to still have your mom alive. Woo! Such a blessing. Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
you know what? It is, and I'm grateful because my mom lost her mom at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes when I think about it, um, I I mourn of a strong woman, a quiet. She seemed like she was a quiet, strong woman. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I just mourn not to know, not knowing that, not to be able to feel that,
Mm-hmm.
So I can only imagine, but I just only have a taste what it is to be without a mom.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why I do tell people, I'm like, if your parents are here, your aunties and your uncles are here, like videotape and record their stories, etc. my aunt told me, and I actually reached out to her last night. I was like, what was my great great aunt's name? She seemed so exciting, and I want to write a little novella about her. But basically, this woman had a juke joint in the countries, in the country woods of Alabama. And I mean, they had all kind of things going on, moonshine, gambling, all that kind of stuff. But she never got married. She never had children. But supposedly she had 7 boyfriends, and and they all knew about each other. And it was like, you know what? Either you got to understand this or you don't. And so I don't know why that's so intriguing to me. Not that that's the kind of lifestyle that I would have want to have, but it's just like, I mean, wow, like you could demand that. And then there are just so many stories about my mother's childhood that I want to kind of archive and collect. And so this Junia movement has sparked a number of things just in terms of my knowing about my legacy. And quite honestly, I actually just got back from Ghana, and it was my second time. I'd been there over 2 decades ago. And I do want to go back to my village and see my aunties and look them in the face, etc. So the movement has kind of sparked or reignited legacy and knowing my family and all of these stories to be told.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I would like to be able to have that opportunity, but that's
Hmm.
beautiful that you're able to do that. And
Hmm.
in some cultures, I mean, the females were the leaders.
Hmm. Oh, absolutely.
There were plenty of males, but they
Yeah.
were like,
In South Africa, I forget which tribe it is. Yeah, it's matriarchal, and the
yep,
queen, if you will, makes all the decisions.
yep, yep.
Mhm, yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Mhm,
why can't we have a Judah?
exactly. And we do. We do.
Yeah, so with this being, because if I remember correctly in my notes, I'm trying to find this. Um, yes, the world's first formal naming tradition.
Mhm.
So, has how what are the walls? What are the walls? What am I talking about? What is it outside of these borders as far
Outside of
as
the US?
learning about this?
Outside of the US?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there are cultures, and I need to do more research so I can be very specific and name those cultures. But it is common. In fact, there are some cultures where you name the daughter after the mother, etc., but nothing formal like the junior and the juniors, etc. So while I'm specifically within the US borders, if you will, but there are plenty of examples outside where it's common. And like I said, there are over 30,000 daughters named after their mothers in the US alone. So yeah, they bear their mother's name. If their mother doesn't have a middle name, it's the first and the last. If they have all three, then it's all of those. And so including hyphenations. So yeah. Hmm.
Wow. That's incredible. What is the pushback, if there's any?
You know what? I have not received any pushback. Everybody who, if someone doesn't believe in it or thinks it's a horrible idea, they haven't said it to me.
Okay.
Everybody has been very, very supportive. Now, I did have one lady who worked on the heel that was actually one of my mother models for the photo shoot. She did say that I do have to manage my expectations about about how long it could take for it to formalize, because there's all kind of legislation that has been trying to be passed forever, so I need to manage that. But she also said that people need wins, particularly with everything that's going on now. When it comes for reelection, etc., people need wins, and this could be a win for them in their community, so that's exciting. And then also, you have to tailor the message so that it can be received, right? In some communities, it's matriarchal. In some communities, it's legacy. And some is, you know, I want to be named after my mother. And so we have to do research and really understand each community that we go in and tailor our messaging. It's all the same thing. And the goal is to make it a formalized naming convention, Junia as a suffix. But in order for it to be embraced, it will have to be very targeted messages that
Mm.
are truthful and resonate. And so that wasn't a pushback to the idea. It was just, I think, great, great, great advice.
Yeah.
Because I've never done anything that requires like political acceptance. I've just never
Right.
been involved. And so learning this new area that I've never had anything to do with has been interesting and kind of exciting at the same time.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
If all you're getting is feedback, then there's nothing. There's God, God is,
Mhm.
we all know he does the things that he does, but
Mhm.
in the earthly realm,
Mhm.
if all you get is feedback, then
Mhm.
that is a blessing all in its own.
Thank
And
you.
it makes me wonder, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it makes me wonder if all you're getting is feedback, if we are realizing um, what our future is looking like the population is looking like we're having less children. Um, if that is behind this new movement, the momentum, or
Mhm.
we're just intelligently growing up. I'm trying to understand like the now. Why are we here now?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, because even the people who I'm spoke to that already have children, I mean, everybody has a different story.
Yeah.
I mean, one young lady said, I worked so hard for this first child. Yes, my daughter's going to be named after me. Okay. There's that. And then there's the some people only want one child. And it's like, okay, if I'm only going to do this one time, why not? If it's a boy, dad. If it's a girl, mother. And those are the conversations we had. And I've also had conversations where actually the father was more in support of the Junia concept than the mother, because the mother was like, gosh, is that going to make, if I name my daughter after me, then will people view me as being arrogant and conceited and all of that? So it wasn't pushed back in terms of the movement. It was more of, and this actually, the woman had this discussion when she first had her child, which was like 5 years ago. Her husband said, you know what, we should name our daughter after you. And she said no, because she didn't want to be viewed as being overly
Mhm.
confident and arrogant. And I told her again, nobody asked that question of boys when they're named.
Yeah.
And we got to stop putting those barriers up for ourselves. We
Yeah.
should do it and do it with pride and legacy and power and all of those things, and not worry about what people think, because I haven't run across anybody that was like, oh, that's a odd, it's just like people who might name, their child whatever, maybe they have a tree or whatever they wanted to, like it shouldn't matter. We should be able to, name something, and particularly if you want to like continue your legacy in that way. There are different ways to continue legacy, and that's one way.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So basically we're holding ourselves back. We're,
Oh,
we're, we're
absolutely.
holding we're holding ourselves back.
Absolutely. And I didn't tell her that. She told me that. She was like, you
Yeah.
know what? I held myself back for no reason. You did. And it's okay. But she actually doesn't seem like she's about to stop having children. She loves having children. So there will probably be plenty of opportunities. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There'll be plenty of, I mean, they're very, very proud and they're fine. That's what they want. Some people want one, some people want 11. Just depends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 1 or 11. I wanted more, but 11. Whew.
11. Yeah. And I heard she's at number 11. Yeah.
Whew.
She and her husband at number 11. So it's great.
That's a gift that I'm okay that God did not give me.
Hmm.
I apologize. I keep looking out here because I left my window. I put my window because I knew it was going to be hot, and
Uh-huh.
I don't know why, but I keep hearing like the trees so close. Like
Oh,
I'm afraid I'm going to have like I'm afraid some squirrel's gonna like I hear like I'll be like, is that a squirrel? I
but
was
there's
trying to get in.
wind. Are you getting a nice breeze through?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So, moving on to another part of this journey that you're doing, which is really incredible, and I'm grateful that God has given you this purpose to be able to do this because it's one of those things where like everybody has thought about it. Not everybody, but a lot of us has thought about, but none of us has spoken. And
Mm-hmm.
so, as I'm thinking about this before I move on to the next thing, I do want to take this moment to um, um, thank you for this beautiful movement that you have started
Oh, thank you.
and for you to be able to take this on. I'm sure it's a lot of time. I mean, to be able to do the not only put the website but spread the word, the conversations that you're having, I mean, one with this interview, but also
Mm-hmm.
to be able to be on the hill and to constantly knock on that door,
Mm-hmm.
um, not knowing when it will be open.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I'm
Our foremothers had to do a lot, so I'm up for the task. But there is a lot of time. I would say the website and stuff isn't as much time as like the strategy,
yeah.
because you have to like sit down with a map of like different legislatures and think about, okay, well, were there similar bills and legislation that they supported that we can like latch on and lead with that, and that's a lot of work. And so that's a lot of what's going on. Are they currently after higher priorities, and how can we make that connection? So that's where a lot, it's kind of like that pre-thinking, that strategy that we have to do before we just go out there. And then there are some people that we're going to have to go out where we know they're going to say no and not support it. But I figure, you know what? I should go to them first, because if I can get through them and all of those questions, etc., and the no's, and the others will be easier. So I'm going to like, kind of use them as practice.
okay.
Yeah.
I should think that as a strategy for whatever God calls me to do once I say yes to it.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
sometimes you'd be like, oh,
Right.
Jesus.
Right.
Go to the next one on the bench.
Right.
Oh, goodness. So, moving on with my next question, as I look at this, look at my notes here. Um, with so we got the date. I'm feeling like this is gonna be like a Juneteenth moment gonna be happening. Like,
Yes, I love that.
girl.
Yes.
We got a date. It is
National
set.
Julia Day, and it is sealed in forever. March 1st will always be National Junia Day.
So, Apple, when I open up my calendar next year, I expect for you, just like any other
Hmm.
silly day, I expect for this to automatically be on this calendar.
Yes, yes,
Apple,
yes.
Google, I'm telling you.
Oh, I love it. Yep.
So, with the March 1st date, because as I'm going to put this on my calendar, what should I be doing on March 1st? Who
So
should I be celebrating?
you have.
Who should I be reaching out to?
So I think what you're celebrating are all mothers and daughters, basically.
Yeah.
And you have a platform here. You obviously have followers and supporters. So, it'd be great if you give a shout out in your recordings before and after the date, so that people can do that if you know of expecting mothers. So have you ever thought about naming your daughter after you? Those type of things. I think that this really has to be successful, has to be a natural grassroots kind of journey. And I expect, I have been on several podcasts trying to spread the word. So my expectations is just let people know about it.
Yeah.
We'll probably have some like different games with awards and stuff like that. We also are in the process of identifying juniors, and we're calling them legacy juniors, and they'll get like a neck medallion. Now they don't have the junior behind their names, but they are named after their mothers. So one of my great friends, her husband's mother was named after his grandmother. Now they Both unfortunately have passed away, but we're going to actually have, he's in Atlanta. So the next time I'm in Atlanta, we're going to actually have a ceremony where I'm going to present this medallion to him in honor of his mother, who is a Junia, because she was named. So we have these medallions that as we find Junias, then we're going to, and I don't care where they're located, I'm going to fly there and we're going to have a ceremony to present those if they're living and if they've passed on to the living closest relative. And
Wow.
so those will be stories that will be on all of our different platforms that we'll tell. So the thing that you can do leading up to that is just let your followers and your friends know.
That's
And
beautiful.
if you are connected politically anyway, to just please make those introductions so that I can have conversations with them.
Okay.
Mm,
Oh, that's going to be really fun.
yeah.
That's going to be really fun just to get everybody together like that. And it's not even just about being a junior. I feel like it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like it is a deeper connection to our lineage, to
Hmm.
who we are. I remember I was talking to my cousin, and it was actually a conversation yesterday. Um, I was doing laundry, and she was inviting me to a family reunion,
Hmm.
but I had other travel plans, so I couldn't make it. But um, I was telling her, when it comes to our legacy and our family, it doesn't it doesn't we are who we are, and to know our legacy and our family brings closure as far as who we are and why we are and why the way we move.
Hmm.
And I feel like with this movement, it is also not only just to honor the ladies as far as to pass on to something, but it is also to celebrate our lineage.
Hmm. Oh, absolutely. We come from such strong heritage. Absolutely. Hmm.
Yes. Why should guys have all the fun? Come
Right,
on.
exactly. And we
Come on,
should not make excuses or anything
guys.
like that. Just do it.
Right. Man.
Yep, just do it.
Because
Because they do and we should. And then also, I was looking here because you did ask what are some things leading up to March 1st that could be done. And I
oh,
actually have a list of those things.
oh, okay.
And so some of the things, like we have a campaign that's going to elevate cultural recognition, family storytelling, and intergenerational identity. And
Mm,
so some of the things that we're going to do is a lot of digital storytelling campaigns, with using hashtags like Junior Day or National Junior Day, my legacy name. We're going to have education outreach to schools and family historians. Like I said, we
mm,
already have the petition, influencer partnerships, and branded social content to build awareness. We were thinking about like an annual Junior honor roll to celebrate women leaving a legacy through name and impact. um and then like putting out questions like how would you celebrate this holiday, how are you going to celebrate this holiday. Also writing legacy letters to mothers and mentors and matriarchs, so even if they're not an official junior but a junior supporter, that's important as well. Creating junior circles, so small group gatherings around the nation too, that can be held in homes, schools, libraries, offices, etc. So those are some of the ways um, that we plan on kind of living up to it. So we have given some thought to it, and those are one of the things that we're going to do.
okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, okay. I'm having thoughts. I'm having thoughts.
Please, any and all, any and all.
I'm just writing some notes down for myself.
Mhm.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Mm, oh, I'm sorry, everybody, that I'm doing this in the middle of a podcast. Like why? But I feel that this is a beautiful movement that should not die down. And there's so much opportunity, and really the main thing is to give females an opportunity just to pass down their name. But our name is just so much. It means so much.
Mhm.
Thinking about why my parents named me Ashley, um, like um, they put so much thought into it. What would my name be when I enter in a room? What will my name look like on a
Mhm.
resume? What would, my name to be connected to the family? Like
Mhm.
like there's just so much into it, and just so much weight.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Much weight,
Mhm.
for a parent to have, for a child to come into this world.
Mhm. Mhm.
I remember my daughter was thinking about just changing their name. And, the question was with the middle name, why this way? And I was just like, oh, it just sounded, it was so nonchalant, but, you because there's so much in the first name
Yeah.
and the last name. Like,
Right.
I really got lazy in the middle name. I was like, I said, there's nothing to
I'm a
it. It's
reason,
just
is it?
flow. It was all about the flow.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
like, like,
Uh-huh.
like there's no legacy behind it. There's no naming about somebody because they're thinking about changing their middle name. Like, can I do this? If I do
Mhm.
this. And so when we think about a name before somebody's born, and then for those who, if you're like my daughter, was thinking about changing the name, like there's just so much thought about an identity for a person when you see it, say it, how it just enters in a room, in a space.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Anyways,
Absolutely.
thoughts, just
I
thoughts.
love that.
Thoughts, just thoughts. But I'm just so grateful that you reached out. I was really excited, about your profile. You are just a busy woman.
Oh, all thanks to God, I tell you. But I have a good team. I have wonderful teams that kind of help in different areas. And so I'm
Yeah.
thankful for that. And I do get my sleep. Staying up late. People are like, oh, I can get more done. I need my sleep. So,
I'm glad you said that,
mhm.
because baby, I don't bother me. Don't touch me. Don't try
Right.
and contact me. I need uninterrupted sleep.
Hmm.
If it's interrupted, it's not going to be a good day.
Hmm. But I do view every day as like, okay, what is my purpose for today? Because I just want to fulfill whatever that is, whether it's being an employer or a friend or a daughter or whatever it is. And like I said, if it's not there, I'm gonna create it. So
Mm.
it wasn't there, I created it. And yes, that's the extra thing on my to-do list, and more than I thought it was gonna be, because I thought it was just gonna be for me. But I mean, I'm up for the task. And then if I have great supporters like you, Ashley, I'm so thankful, for inviting me here onto your platform. Then, you know, I feel good. I feel good. I feel encouraged and hopeful that it's going to happen.
Yeah, it almost sounds like, what was it, your aunt? When she opened up that juke joint, I
Okay.
bet I bet you she was like, "It's not here, and I'm gonna put it here."
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what she went through being a Black woman at that time and a
Mhm.
business.
Mhm.
A woman who's Black with a business.
Mhm.
Listen, listen, that's breaking ground by itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mhm. Mhm.
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. I'm just thinking about her. Too many thoughts. Too many thoughts. Um, Thank you. I need to settle
For
myself
having me.
down.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have, it's so interesting because I have a page worth of notes, and learning about you and talking to you today. I am blessed and I am grateful.
Well, I
And
am
so,
blessed and grateful as well. This was a very easy conversation and full of laughter and good insights. And you did, research about Junia in the Bible. I think you're the first.
oh, for real?
Yeah, the first host that actually did that research before and had questions and like, I'm curious, and was she the only female, etc. So I've done my research, but it is an honor to actually talk to someone that did her research too. So thank
Oh, thank you. I didn't even think I did much because I didn't even think I did much, quite honestly. And so this is a lesson in itself. When you feel that you don't think it's good enough, when you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing, it's good enough for God.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do want to let everybody know that um, when this is what this platform is about, is as Christians, we can easily be told things, and that's just sometimes, not all the time,
Mm-hmm.
those who try to um, put something on us in order for their agenda. And so God has created a book that is supposed to be accessible to us all.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is highly important that when something is um, in front of you, to be able to do your research. Like, for example, to know Junia, I have read Romans. I have read Romans times over, but with us having this conversation, it was just that little nugget that I missed. It's like digging for something.
Right.
You'd be like, I have this pile of dirt. How did I
Mm-hmm.
miss that? And you go back and you'd be like, oh my goodness, it
Mm-hmm.
was here and I didn't even know what I was looking for. I didn't even know.
Didn't even
Didn't
know.
even
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't even know. So I am grateful. And another thing too is the what oh, I'm trying to find it here with Wikipedia, because I didn't write it down, but it was the definition of apostle, in order to give her more than what I think we deserve. Come on, Wikipedia. Come on. I should have wrote it down. I should have wrote down the definition of apostle. Um, definition of apostle. Yeah,
Huh.
because my
Well,
daughter,
I'll go to
I can't,
Amazon.
I can't
Mm-hmm.
write, I can't type fast enough. I can't type fast enough. Where are you? Oh, so with the definition of apostle, if I remember correctly, it is basically being the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
And with Paul's calling her um, an outstanding one. Oh, the term
Oh,
apostle is derived meaning one who was sent off or to sent away. So for her to receive the message and to be sent off in order to deliver the word of God is amazing in itself for a woman at that time,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because a lot of them were guys. I mean, you think about the disciples; they were all dudes. Mary Magdalene, I mean, she was also one, but people don't really put her with the rest of the disciples. So for her to be able to do her thing at that time, girl,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's really interesting because Junia actually kind of disappeared from a lot of stories that we're
yes,
told about in the church. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. She was probably in prison living it up. Who cares? She's probably like, it's better down there now.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
This is probably better down here. But yeah, the fact that she is able to do the things that she did on the calling,
Mm-hmm.
love it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I've so enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much for having me
Same.
here.
Same. I am grateful. So, guys, next time, I don't know what's going to be next time. And you know what? I know I relaunched this podcast. I'm still working on my exit. Like, how can there's no good way to end a good conversation. So, until next time, I
There we
mean,
go.
that's a good one.
Love it.